We're back now with today's consumer. Let's face it, these days, the average work day is not 9 to 5. Thanks to smartphones and email and messaging apps, it's more like 24/7, really. In fact, according to some new data from LinkedIn, 53% of us do not fully disconnect from work when they're off on holidays. 30% check in when they're out of the office. Here to help us set more digital boundaries in 2020, NBC's senior business correspondent, Stephanie Ruhle. And I think those may be conservative numbers, actually. I think if folks are being honest, it's probably more than that.
Without a doubt. Just think about this for a moment. Whether it's data telling you or your mother, we all need to disconnect. Do you disconnect?
No, I don't. And you know what? We are probably some of the worst offenders. Savannah, hold a copy.
Yeah.
Roker, raise your hand. When you're not here, do you check your email?
Yeah.
Check.
I read an email about this segment last night.
Control room, raise your hand if you check when you're not in the office. That's very smart since the boss is sitting among you. So, but see, I think it also depends on where you work, right?
Okay, but it doesn't.
No,
we
sure.
keep thinking disconnecting is all about people with jobs that are demanding that we need to check in. You know why we need to have this conversation?
Yeah.
For people who aren't part of the formal workforce, for stay-at-home parents, for full-time caregivers who never get to turn off, who say, I'm not going to take my boss's call. They need to set boundaries. That is going to help their mental and physical health, and we're going to help them do it.
I'm here for the sermon, sister. All right, give us 3 tips. 3 tips.
All
Let's
right,
start with number 1.
let's get it started. Because of smartphones, we're not chained to a desk anymore. But because of smartphones, we're chained to those phones. And our employers or the people in our life are going to take us 24/7 if we give them access. So don't. Create after office hours.
After office hours?
Office hours.
What are those?
Let your coworkers know in person or put an auto reply on your phone or your text that says, you know what? From 7 to 9, maybe I'm eating with my family, but from 8 to 10, I'll be checking email. After that, I'm in bed. That way, I'm not going, has Craig seen my message? Has he seen it? I know you're checked out.
Okay. Set after office hours. All right. Next tip number 2 here, as we look at setting some new digital boundaries.
You're not going to believe this one.
Okay.
It's about vacation time.
Planned it already.
Okay, and you're going to say to me, Stephanie, it is only January.
Our
I'm
worker
planning
plans
vacation.
his,
I'm already done.
I know. Probably all 3 of your vacations in 2020.
Vacation days are not just perks. We fight to get them from our employers because we need them. They help with our productivity. And I'm not saying, Craig, you need to plan some giant 2-week trip, even if it's a day here or a day there. In 2018, can I tell you how many vacation days went unused in this country? 768 million.
Jeez.
That's over 55% of Americans simply don't take their vacation days.
Why is that? Is that
them.
because they're afraid of being looked at as lazy? Is that because they're afraid of missing time in the office?
It's a combination of things. All of that, the anxiety, the last-minute planning. So I'm saying do it. Put it on the calendar now. And when you are out, create a designated time where you're going to check in. So if you do have the benefit of being somewhere with your family, you're not looking at that phone all day.
Yeah. This is my favorite tip. Tip number 3, asking yourself a very important question.
I think this is the most important. You're going to get lots of emails and texts. Before you respond, please take a deep breath and say, can this email wait 12 hours, 36 hours, maybe even 48? And you might want to respond to a colleague and say, I see this. I'm going to let you know tomorrow. Communicating is the best thing we can do. And communicating to say, I'm not available right now is half the battle.
Can this wait?
And I just want to stress it for those people who might be stay-at-home. We often disrespect those people's time the most because we think they're available. You know what, Craig, sometimes at the dinner table, I might take a call saying, kids, I got a work call, and it's not one. So for people who don't get to do that, I want them to create those boundaries.
You're lying to your children at dinner?
Everyone, you know what? When things get out of control, I may say, I got to take this work call.
All right.
Everyone should get to disconnect.
Some really useful tips there, setting digital boundaries. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.